Hi everyone, and welcome to the third video in my braces series. So in my last two videos, I talked about the process before you get your braces and what it's like to get braces put on. So if you're thinking about getting braces, that might be a good place to check out first. Today I wanted to talk about what it's like to get braces removed and then get your retainers. And yes, after about 2 years and 4 months, my appointment to get my braces removed finally came. And about a year before that, they had removed the appliance that I had in my mouth, so they just had to take off the braces. And I didn't really like the way it felt when they took the appliance out because it was really stuck to my 2 molars. So when they removed it, they really had to pull on it, and it kind of felt like it might damage my molars, but when I looked afterwards, everything was fine, and I'm sure they knew exactly what they were doing. But the roof of my mouth felt really weird because it had a piece of plastic on it for like a year and all of a sudden it was exposed. So when they cleaned it with water, it felt really weird too. So yeah, back to getting my braces removed. So on the day I was scheduled to come in to get my braces removed, the lady at the front desk was so excited for me, it was adorable. I really liked the place that I chose to get my braces done because the staff there were so friendly. So of course I brushed my teeth when I came in and they sat me down in a dental chair. And then an assistant came over and removed the elastic ties just like any normal appointment. So anyway, I told the assistant that I was a little concerned that they might not be taking my braces off that day because I hadn't been wearing the last pair of elastics as much as I should have. Normally I was really good with wearing my elastics, but the last pair that they gave me were really bad. So the last elastics that I had were these really long ones that hooked at the back and went up and down over my molars and stopped near my eye teeth. And when I wore these, it was really hard to talk. Not to mention that it was really hard to put them in and take them out because it took a long time to weave them up and down so many times. So after a few days of dealing with it, I mostly just wore them at night. It was the only time that I found the elastics just too much to handle. But luckily, when the orthodontist came over, she said everything looked good and that it was time to get my braces removed. In that moment, I was both really happy and a little nervous. So I was happy because I was going to get my braces removed, but at the same time, I was a little nervous because I knew that that meant that I was going to be there for a long time. So that's when the assistant started to take the wires out and then remove my brackets. For some reason, I thought that it was going to be really hard to take the brackets off, but all they did was hold them with a pair of pliers and twist, and they just popped off. So when they were taking the brackets off, most of them came off smoothly, but a few of them shattered, and I think that's because they were ceramic. The other option I had when I got my braces put on was to get metal ones, and those obviously wouldn't shatter when you take them off. So when they shattered, they had to pick all the pieces out of my mouth, and some of them they just washed away with some water and then sucked them up with that suction device that they use. And before I knew it, I was free of my dental prison. Unfortunately, that wasn't the last step. So after they had removed all the braces, it was time to prepare for my retainers. I have a removable set, which I'll show you in a minute, and I also have a set that are glued to the inside of my front teeth. So I have 2 of these, and what it is just a wire that's glued to the back of my bottom teeth, and then there's another one that's glued to the back of my top teeth. And I think most orthodontists like to use this type if they can. It's really nice because you know that it's always in there and your front teeth just aren't going to shift. And at first they thought they'd only have room for me to have the retainer glued on the top, but they managed to fit one on the bottom too, which was really nice. I like them because it gives me peace of mind that my teeth in the front aren't going to move. The only problem with these is that, once again, it makes it hard to floss. I have to thread the floss in the front still. So when they were done gluing in the retainers, it was time to do an impression of my teeth. So this impression is done to make the removable retainers, and it's sent away to a place where they make them, and then they send it back, and you go in about 2 weeks later to get them put on. So when the impression was done, I went over to a mirror and a sink and I took out all the alginate that was stuck in there again. And I finally got to see my teeth that were free of braces. And I probably sat there for a really long time looking at my teeth, but I just couldn't help it because they looked so nice. And they also had me brush my teeth to remove any extra pieces, and it felt so weird because I had gotten used to brushing my teeth with all the braces on. So yeah, it felt really weird to brush and just feel like smooth teeth instead of bumps. And then after that, I got to pick out the colors for my new retainer. So they showed me this ring that had a whole bunch of different colors of plastic on it and I could choose from it. And they also told me that I could get a pattern. So they said that they could do stripes or polka dots or zebra print. And I ended up choosing a pink retainer with white zebra stripes. So that's my top retainer right there, and you can see all the little zebra stripes on it. And my bottom retainer is just a clear one. So you can see this one, it's just a clear retainer. It kind of looks like something you get if you did Invisalign. So I should probably mention that when I first started this whole process, I had asked if I could do Invisalign, but I was told that I'm not a good candidate for it. Apparently, Invisalign only worked for certain problems, and it just wouldn't fix everything that was wrong with my teeth, so I couldn't do it. So after a few weeks, I went back for another appointment, and my orthodontist put them in my mouth and did a few adjustments to make sure they were fitting properly. I also got to choose the color of the cases for the retainers. So I ended up choosing a pink one and a green one, and they both have a little bit of sparkle to them. I don't know if you can see it on camera. And I almost went for a purple one instead of the green, but I kind of like the way the green and the pink look together. So when I first got my retainers, I had to wear them all the time, and then it was moved down to just like 18 hours a day, and then it was just at night. And I've heard that a lot of people find it really hard to talk with their retainers in, but it didn't really affect me that much. So I guess I'll put them in so you can see what it's like when I'm wearing them. So that's them, and you can see it's not really that noticeable. So the bottom one is completely clear, and the top one is just a little wire. And they're pretty easy to take care of. So the way that I clean them is I have a separate toothbrush that I clean them with, and I use mouthwash instead of toothpaste. So the reason that you don't use toothpaste and use a separate toothbrush is that you don't want to get a bunch of white residue building up on them. And I soak them in a little container of mouthwash about once a month. So now I'm pretty much done with the whole orthodontist process. I still have to go in every once in a while just to get my retainer checked and to make sure nothing is moving. And to sum up my entire orthodontic experience, I would say it was completely worth it. I am so happy that I decided to get braces, even though it was a little expensive and scary at times. And to be completely honest, I was a little bit concerned that people would think it was weird that I had braces as an adult. But I felt like having braces was better than having crooked teeth, so it looked like I was at least doing something about it. And of course, I don't think there's anything wrong with having crooked teeth. But for me personally, it was something that I thought could make me feel better about the way that I looked. If I had just left my teeth the way that they were, it probably wouldn't have made a huge difference in my life, but I am a lot happier that they are straight now. So if you feel like your smile isn't as straight as you'd like it to be, and the only reason you're not getting it fixed is because you're worried about what other people will think about it, I would say just go ahead and do it. They're really not as noticeable as you think they are, and you only have to wear them for a few years. So thanks for watching this third video in my series about braces. And I hope that I helped you with some of the questions that you might have. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a nice day! Bye!